Right now at 6, a new child care option is on the way for Joplin area families in need.
And we've got a hot day lined up for us after a pretty cool and somewhat foggy start. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Joplin crews face weather delays on a major road project while a key intersection remains closed and what drivers need to know.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday. It is June the 10th. And you know that the whole Costco thing is still just kind of flooring me. People showing their Costco membership card.
I would love to see that in person.
I kind of would too, just to see how this goes down. There's no way it can go well.
That kind of makes me think like what other forms of ID, unofficial ID, people use.
You think about it. You've got like 100 like discount cards and membership cards. And all these things. Why my AutoZone card should allow me on a plane?
And the Costco photo is such a grainy little black and white.
I can't
even imagine. It's so funny.
It is. So don't try that though, because it's not going to work. You're just going to make a lot of folks unhappy.
Unless you want to make me laugh.
That's true. That's true. And I'm going to try and make you happy. I try and make you laugh. I just laugh at myself most of the time. But we've got a pretty decent day lineup. It's going to get hot, but seasonably hot. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. There it is, and the sun is slowly rising out there. We do see off in the distance some of that haze. It's some light fog. Again, fog tracker is still not showing really any significantly reduced visibilities. I mean, the most reduced we've got is down to 9 miles, and perfect visibility or clear visibility is 10. So that's what I'm saying. We don't have anything major, but there's some patchy fog here and there that you want to keep an eye out for as you're driving this morning. Into the afternoon we go. By noon, majority of us just about at or into the 80s. And the further west you go, Bartlesville is a great example here. It's going to be even hotter. We're talking the 90s further to our west. But for us, yes, hot, but in most cases, seasonably hot across the areas. We're supposed to be about 85 degrees or so for our average high. And that's where we're going to be pushing today. It's just we haven't been near normal for quite some time. We've been a lot of days below normal, even back through May. So it is going to make it feel a little hotter out there compared to where we have been. All right, 55, Joplin, 56, Pittsburgh. So we're actually starting our day below normal. Then we'll have some cooler spots up there. We got some low 50s. Bentonville is still the warm spot at 59, but we have Independence, Newada, for example, you're right behind. So not a bad start to the day. It's a bit cool for this time of year, but still pleasant otherwise. And it's going to get hot. That's how hot it's going to get. Now, depending on what your tolerance for the heat is, though, in all seriousness, first off, with your pets, some do not do so well. When we start getting mid-upper 80s, some folks don't do so well when we get into the mid to upper 80s. So just make sure you know yourself. Make sure you know your pets as we start to heat up, because temperatures will continue to climb as we head into the summer. So just be prepared for that. Otherwise, sunny. West breeze 5 to 10. And it's going to be hot again tomorrow, and then our rain chances gradually start to increase. We're going to go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, Pittsburgh police are investigating 2 incidents of shots fired on consecutive nights in the same neighborhood. Both cases happened in Pittsburgh's West Hudson neighborhood, prompting police response both times on Friday and Saturday nights. Officers found bullet holes in vehicles and apartments near 202 and 219 West Hudson, but no one is hurt. Now, investigators collected multiple shell casings at the scene Friday and another casing Saturday night. The Pittsburgh Police Department continues working to identify any suspects. A fisherman finds himself stranded after the motor on his boat stopped working. The call went out yesterday evening around 8:30 of a stranded boater at Center Creek, just a short distance from the Stones Corner access boat ramp on County Lane 251. Carl Junction Fire, Water Rescue, along with Mets and Carl Junction Police responded. First responders found the disabled boat near the bank in some trees with the fisherman hanging onto a few branches. Carl Junction Fire launched their boat and pulled the fisherman and his boat upstream to the ramp. The boat was never underwater and the fisherman was wearing a life vest. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, some changes for Bourbon County voters ahead of their next election in November. Last year, voters decided to expand the county commission from 3 to 5 districts, meaning the county redrew commission district lines and polling locations in Redfield and Bronson are being eliminated. The county clerk's office will send postcards in late July detailing new district and polling place information. Still ahead in the redistricting, the commission will vote on term limits for districts 4 and 5 in coming weeks. For upcoming election updates and polling locations, visit KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, a major electric rate change is hitting Miami utility customers, and it starts this month. The Miami Special Utility Authority approves a 3-year electric rate increase to keep pace with rising power costs from the Grand River Dam Authority. Starting this month, customers pay 12% more, with potential rise coming in 2026 and 2027. The city says the rate plans support $28 million in capital projects, including smart meters and substation upgrades. City Manager Tyler Klein says these improvements keep the system modern and attractive for business growth. Utility work at the intersection of 20th Street and Country Club Drive in Joplin is running behind schedule due to recent rain and storms. The area remains closed to through traffic while crews install a new water main ahead of a major road widening project. Local access can get through with soft closures in place on surrounding streets. Now, once complete, the $9.8 million project will expand 20th Street to 3 lanes and add a path for pedestrians and cyclists. Well, ribbon cutting in Joplin marks the opening of a child care center, which could help remove barriers for those in recovery. KOAM Samantha Walker shows us how an area nonprofit is working to address a critical child care need.
Lafayette House in Joplin is a nonprofit helping those who have experienced domestic violence, sexual assault, and substance use disorders. Through working with their clients, staff saw where there was a need.
Oftentimes people who are escaping domestic or sexual violence, the fear is there's a lot of control around the children. If you leave me, you won't be able to see our children, those kind of things. So there's a lot of those threats used. We want to make sure that anyone who's escaping those situations, they know that they have the availability of child care, that children will be cared for, they'll be in a safe space.
The organization is opening Second Steps, a child care center for children aged 6 weeks to 5 years. A lack of affordable child care is an issue felt across the nation, especially in Missouri. According to a recently published report from researchers at the University of Missouri, child care gaps cost Missouri on average more than $1 billion a year.
These families do need to know that they have a safe place, safe, healthy place where their children are being taken care of, so that they can do what they need to do, whether it be work or seek services with Lafayette House or that type of thing. They need to know that they're leaving their child someplace safe.
The center is open to both Lafayette House clients and community families who may be eligible for child care assistance programs. They're welcoming enrollment and currently have quite a few openings for families in need.
It's been a struggle for our staff to make sure that we have child care for our clients. It's a great need, and we wanted to make sure that we addressed it.
Those interested are encouraged to reach out directly to the Lafayette House. Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Today there's an open house for Second Steps. It's from 4:30 to 6:30, and families currently enrolled or interested in doing so are encouraged to visit. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, additional National Guard troops are deployed to Los Angeles as anti-ICE protests stretch into a 5th day. And we have a hot and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a look from Dyckhoff Park. Topping Nation Watch this morning, a 5th day of protest in California and a growing war of words between the state's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom and President Donald Trump. The Pentagon Monday announced plans to send 700 Marines and thousands of additional National Guard troops to Los Angeles, prompting demonstrators in other cities and states to take to the streets. Meanwhile, Los Angeles police say the deployment could lead to challenges and confusion. Naomi Ruckham has more from New York.
The Pentagon is mobilizing 700 Marines and 2,000 additional National Guard troops to Los Angeles as anti-ICE protests stretch into a fifth day. This as the Los Angeles police chief says he's confident his department and partners can handle the growing demonstrations, with dozens of arrests made so far.
The introduction of federal military personnel without direct coordination creates logistical challenges and risks confusion during critical incidents.
Protests have also spread to other parts of California.
The people in our federal government who are making decisions to put troops on the streets and to round up members of our community need to see that we're not with them.
As well as states around the country like Florida and Texas. In Austin, tear gas was used to disperse crowds. Meanwhile, escalating tensions in LA have stoked a political clash between California Governor Gavin Newsom and the Trump administration. President Donald Trump's border czar Tom Homan has threatened the arrest of anyone who obstructs federal authorities, including Newsom, prompting this reaction from the president.
Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing.
Newsom, in an interview, called on the White House to arrest him and, quote, just get it over with. The state has sued over the deployment of federal troops, calling it an unprecedented power grab. The White House says it's necessary to protect federal property. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
In an interview with CNN yesterday, White House border czar Tom Homan said he doesn't believe Governor Newsom has committed any crimes that warrant his arrest. Well, still to come, a new study suggests that where you live could impact your risk of developing dementia. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, in Des Moines, Iowa, Sunday, thousands of athletes took on the Ironman, which takes competitors on a 70.3-mile journey, swimming, biking, and running. Now, among the pack of athletes, a young man with a brain injury and cerebral palsy who finished the race with his father. Nicole Tam reports.
At 6:30 Sunday morning, hundreds of athletes braved the chilly conditions in Grace Lake for a 1.2-mile swim to kick off their 70.3-mile journey. Training for the big day looks different for everyone. For Roger and Oz Sparks, the idea of being in the race started 6 months ago.
Basically, he uses his phone to communicate, and he typed on his phone, and he's like, Dad, I want to do an Ironman.
So they started training
Slow down!
During winter in snowy, cold Eagle River, Alaska. Roger was not only dad supporting Oz in this journey, but also coach.
This is all his concept, this is his dream, and so I'm just trying to make sure that he has a good time.
Besides building up physical strength, they had to be mindful of Oz's health challenges, including diabetes.
Just managing his sugar, what he's eating, and we're here, and I feel like just being here right now and experiencing what we have is success.
After months on the bike and many runs together, it's race day.
And within the past month, I'll just kind of take a knee and kind of cry a little bit sometimes, but super proud of my son.
The Sparks hope their experience can inspire others to get out of their comfort zone.
Set goals, and have courage. Lean into the things you want in your life, because they're right in front of you. It's like if you have the courage, to be uncomfortable, anything's possible.
Courage to achieve a race as tough as the Ironman and everything else that Oz dreams of.
What an incredible accomplishment. Congratulations to them both. Here's Chris now with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, the sun is rising this morning on a day that is, a little below average for us. However, the heat is on the way as well as rain chances. Details when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 6:21, almost 6:22 on this Tuesday morning, and we do have a pretty chilly start to the day, seasonably wise. It's a little cooler than where we should be, but it's a great start. Look at the sun's beginning to rise out there over downtown Pittsburgh. Looking good so far. MoDOT camera 20th in range line, looking almost directly at the sun. And obviously we have the clear skies so we can see that sunrise clearly this morning. On to the future track. Well, if you're expecting clear skies, I have some good news because that's exactly what we're going to see. Temperatures, though, beginning to warm up out there. And again, depending on what your heat tolerance is, and especially with pets, young kids, the elderly, we're not like at extreme heat levels, but some folks, the upper 80s, near 90, it's a bit toasty for them. So just make sure you're being safe, being smart as we heat up. Sunny skies otherwise, and of course, the further west you go, Bartlesville, great example, getting into the 90s out toward Wichita, and again, points to our west. So not quite that hot here yet, but we will still be warmer than where we have been here lately. Yesterday was pretty toasty. Today going to be same. Tomorrow, just as toasty again. Now, overnight tonight, we'll start to go partly cloudy, and as we head into Wednesday, we'll have a mix of kind of partly to mostly cloudy skies from time to time. And as we head into the afternoon, early evening, we could, mainly on the Missouri side, get an isolated shower or thunderstorm out there. Again, not expect anything too significant. No severe weather is expected, and what we do see may be very isolated and short-lived. By 10 o'clock tomorrow, let's say between 5 and 10, it comes up and then it fizzles on out. We go into our Thursday. Clouds continue to increase. Now we're going mostly cloudy, which will allow us to also be milder overnight Wednesday into Thursday. And throughout the day, Thursday, scattered showers and thunderstorms will begin to increase a bit as we go through the day. No severe weather is expected, and that's the nice thing is even though we do have these thunderstorm chances coming up, we're not anticipating any severe weather at this point. Now, that could still change, but it's not looking likely, which is some good news. We've got sunny skies for us today. You can see that also from our camera at 7th and range line in Joplin. Right around the mid-60s by 8 o'clock tonight, but we warm up this morning. As we head into the late morning hours, we're warming up quickly, near 80 by 11 o'clock this morning. And as we go into the afternoon, mid-upper 80s out there. And again, just plentiful sunshine. West winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Into the evening hours we go, and we will hold on to clear skies initially. Once we lose the sunshine, temperatures will drop back, but will be milder this evening, back into the mid-60s with a southeast breeze at a 5 to 10. And that wind will continue to shift on us and eventually be out of the south as we head into our Wednesday. Here's the future track. Wednesday, late evening into Thursday. Scattered showers, thunderstorms. Right now, again, severe risk. Don't have any areas highlighted. Thunderstorm risks, yes, we could see some thunderstorms. That's where the concern comes in is, again, not for the severe weather at this point, for the possibility of some heavy rain with some of those thunderstorms. So this is what we're looking at. We may not be looking at heavy rain across the entire area like we've seen with the last couple of thunderstorm events we've had, but we could have some thunderstorms that if you get caught up under them could produce some very heavy rainfall. So that's going to lead to the increasing flooding concerns for areas that are already experiencing flooding. It could also lead to localized flash flooding, depending on how big that storm is and just how heavy the rain comes down. So just be prepared for that. Those chances, again, begin increasing a bit, and they're not very high chances for showers and storms. These are going to be scattered. So it's not going to be rain everywhere all at once like we've seen in the past few events either. But they'll continue from Thursday into Friday, throughout the day Friday. Friday looking to be, honestly, one of our better chances for a few more of these scattered showers and storms lasting a little longer. We'll get a little break heading into Saturday morning and the afternoon. By Saturday evening, one more round of a few scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. So again, isolated storm or two tomorrow, nothing really widespread. And we'll be back up into the upper 80s. Then the clouds increase. We'll get a few of those scattered shower thunderstorm chances Thursday through Saturday. As we go beyond that, we start heating back up again. Upper 80s, getting close to 90. And we'll get an opportunity, though, to dry out as we roll into the next work week. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, where you live could impact your risk of developing dementia. And researchers at the University of California, San Francisco found that when compared to the mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., dementia rates were 25% higher in the southeast. Now, the south, the northwest, and Rocky Mountains were all about 20% higher. And researchers say the next steps is to study what factors may be driving the differences. And a new study published in the Journal of the Society for Neuroscience looked at the way stress can make sleep quality worse and impair memory. Researchers artificially activated neurons linked to stress in mice, which led mice to sleep less and impaired how well the mice performed in a memory task. The research could help explore ways to improve sleep and cognitive deficits related to stress disorders. And early treatment of children's cavities can stop progression of dental decay for years. A study by NYU College of Dentistry looked at 1,600 New York City children ages 5 to 13 who had cavities in one or more teeth. Researchers applied 2 non-surgical topical treatments twice a year and found both kept most dental decay from worsening. It's estimated kids miss 34 million hours of school every year because of dental emergencies. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, local students get a taste of what it's like to be in the medical field.
And we've got a somewhat cool start to the day, but hot weather on the way this afternoon. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, when the river floods, catfish come alive, and so does the community spirit. We take you fishing.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday. It is June the 10th, and we are pushing right along into, again, unofficial start to summer was last back on the 1st, but it's going to really start to feel like summer across the area. It started heating up yesterday as well, and it will continue to heat up as we go into this afternoon. Let's start with a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, skies are clear. We do have some light fog here and there, some patchy fog. Fog tracker again not showing any significantly reduced visibilities, but just want to remind folks that you might want to watch out also for that just a patchy dense fog that's here and there with all the rain, all the moisture, and everything else that we've had over the last little while. And calm winds this morning will certainly make for that possibility at least, but otherwise looking good. MoDOT camera 20th at Range Line in Joplin is looking back to the east. Obviously, if it's looking some other direction and we see the sun, then we've got problems. But clear skies, sunny out there. And again, a bit cool this morning, but it won't take long for us to heat up with all that sunshine. We'll start to see temperatures climb pretty quickly. Most of us right about 80 or into the low 80s by noon. Now, the further west you go, the hotter it's going to be. So we're talking out toward Wichita, Oklahoma City. Points west, we're getting in the low, mid, maybe even some upper 90s out there. But Bartlesville, a great example, is you're starting to head west already to 91 by this afternoon. Thankfully, not quite that hot around here, but we did reach 90 over this past week. In fact, Sunday, helping to fuel those storms we saw, Joplin reached a high of about 90 degrees. We're at 55 right now, both in Joplin and in Pittsburgh, so that's why it's a little bit cool. We should be right into the low 60s, and we're a little below that this morning. Got Nevada now, the cool spot, at 50 degrees. So talk about chilly for June, but it, again, is going to warm up pretty quickly and will eventually climb. So we're talking about 70 by 9, low 80s by noon, mid 80s by 3, and that's where our highs are headed, mid to upper 80s with clear skies and a west breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll start to see a few more clouds tonight. Could get an isolated storm or two tomorrow, and then the rain chances will continue to increase as we roll from Thursday into Saturday. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll see you soon. Well, the Summer Reading Challenge is underway at the Carthage Library, encouraging kids to keep reading while school's out. Participants track their reading time to earn prizes and drawing entries. Free programs run all summer, including story time, art, robotics, and discovery days with hands-on activities. Now, the goal is to help kids avoid the summer slide, a drop in skills over break, and give families a fun, safe place to learn together.
It's always warms my heart when a family will come in and they'll say, we never knew the library had this much to offer. And when the babies are crying because it's time to leave, that just tells me that they're going to want to come back. And so, it's just such a heartwarming experience.
The Carthage Public Library is packed with free programs all summer long, from story time and art club to cooking classes, robotics, and even discovery days with water tables and magnetic play. Local middle school students took a field trip to Missouri Southern to learn all about science-related careers. The event is called Middle School Science to Jobs Summer Academy. Students had the opportunity to engage in hands-on experiments through medical simulation in nature labs. The goal was to spark curiosity in young minds through mathematics, engineering, and modern technology.
And the experiments is actually tied to the International Space Station, dealing with plants. They also have VR headsets in there where they're learning about cells. They can build their own monster, coding their own DNA.
Such a game changer. It makes it so much easier for me as a teacher to explain those really difficult concepts and for the students to grasp them. So, I mean, for me, this is a top tier excitement for stuff like this.
164 students attended the event. Well, take me out to the ballpark and to Mojo Monday. Yesterday evening at the Frontenac City Ballpark, families enjoyed shaved ice while coming together to support Jenny Latimer, who is battling breast cancer. A portion of the proceeds and tips went to Jenny and her family. The event, started by the new owners of the Mojo Shaved Ice Company, is all about giving back and has quickly become a community favorite.
It always feels great to be able to give back to the community. They support us coming by and buying a shaved ice from us. Getting to see the kids and their smiling faces is priceless. But being able to give back to different families or organizations that are in need is just a blessing.
Supporters were also asked to wear their pink Never Give Up breast cancer shirts to show solidarity for Jenny. Local fishermen gather on the banks of the flooded Neosho River in Miami, Oklahoma. As KOAM chief photojournalist Ty Park shows us, all along the bank they are casting out lines and reeling in catfish, drum, and carp.
Because it brings the catfish up in the grass eating worms. They come up in here and feed, and they're fair. I'm not going to say easy to catch, but they're easier than trying to catch them out of the river. Carp, drum, mostly the only three we're seeing right now, but mostly catfish, small cast, nothing real big yet. It is. Every time it's flooded, it fills up for this side, and if you can get it on the other side's full too. So just everybody enjoys it. Everybody that's around here knows that when the river floods, the catfish usually feed.
Is just the people, honestly. We moved here last year from Mount Airy, North Carolina. The people here are more Mayberry than there. So it's getting to know the people out here for us, getting to know our community, fishing with them, just enjoying a good day on the river, even if it's flooded. Saturday we ended up with 8 beautiful cats. Today we've gotten 3 so far, and catfish freeze beautifully, so I'm filling my freezer up. The people out here getting to know the community is really the best part of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, stringer full of fish is a good thing too, but the people out here.
Now, the folks we spoke to just said if you do want to join in on the fishing fun, do be kind and clean up after yourself. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Apple is kicking off its developers conference by unveiling bold new upgrades to its products. Plus, Wilson Sporting Goods is partnering up with Caitlin Clark. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Dykoff Park. In Consumer Watch this morning, well, it's going to cost you more to cool your home this summer, but there are things you can do to help lower those costs. Jen Sullivan has tips on how to lower your utility bills this summer.
Summers are getting hotter, and more areas of the country are seeing significant heat waves, and those high temperatures are driving up energy costs as people try and stay cool.
As we're seeing higher temperatures, people are flocking inside and keeping their air conditioners turned up.
Jennifer Amon with the American Council for an Energy Efficient Economy, known as ACEEE, says rising temperatures means rising prices.
We really are seeing this happening across the country.
This year, the average electric bill between June and September is projected to reach $784, according to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association. That's more than 4% higher than last year when adjusted for inflation. Depending on where you live, those costs could be higher or lower.
People can be really shocked when they get those first bills, particularly if their rates have changed in their region.
There are things you can do to help cut those rising costs.
One of the best things you can do is insulate your home. Insulate and air seal.
Raising the temperature on your thermostat by even 2 degrees when you're not home can help.
You can set it up a few degrees and you'll save, 5 to 10% on your cooling.
Other things you can do, make sure your HVAC system isn't more than 20 years old. Shades can make a big difference in keeping rooms cool. Eamon says don't use your dryer, dishwasher, or even the oven in the middle of the day. All of those appliances generate heat and will make your house hotter. And only use ceiling fans in occupied rooms. Otherwise, it's just going to waste energy. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Apple kicked off its developers conference this week, unveiling new features. The tech giant says its new operating system 26 will launch this fall with an enhanced liquid glass interface that allows for a more vibrant screen. The company is also updating Apple Intelligence with new features like real-time message translation. Well, two big moves in media streaming this week. Disney has agreed to pay Comcast nearly $439 million for its stake in Hulu, ending a years-long process. The deal gives Disney complete ownership of the streaming service. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers Discovery announced plans to split into two companies. One company will operate cable networks like CNN and TNT. The other company will contain the streaming and studio businesses like HBO Max and Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group. And Wilson Sporting Goods is teaming up with the WNBA star Caitlin Clark on a new line of basketballs. Clark worked closely with the company on the design of the 4 balls titled Embrace, Aspire, Oasis, and Envision. The line hits store shelves on June 23rd. That's a look at Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, skies are clear this morning. A bit chilly, though, at least for early June out there. Temperatures heating up as we roll into the afternoon, and we have those increasing rain chances. A full look at your forecast when we come back. Time for some Tuesday birthdays in the 4 states, and we are going to start in Oswego with Dexon McKenzie celebrating birthday number 3. Happy birthday.
And a happy 18th birthday to Carter Pipkin. It says, you have grown into a handsome young man, and I can't wait to see you go into this world and bloom. Love, Mom.
And in Chanute, Jacob LaRue celebrating birthday number 33 today. Jacob was also the mayor of Chanute, so a very happy birthday to you.
And in Crestline, a happy 76th birthday to Barbara Duncan.
And we've got Michael Clyburn in Galena celebrating birthday number 77. A very happy birthday to you.
And a happy 84th birthday to David Cobb in Columbus. It says here that, fun fact, he was on Melody Matinee as a kid. Wow.
That's very impressive. I mean, it's a lot of history here, and that's a very unique part of this station's history to be a part of. Very happy birthday to you, David. And we have an anniversary for Jonathan and Jessica Hunchel in Carthage, celebrating number 7. Happy anniversary.
And also celebrating their anniversary, happy 20th to Jill and Jared Pyle. It says, wishing you many more happy years together.
And it's a 53rd anniversary for Joe and Beverly Clyson in Erie. Happy anniversary.
And in Mountville, a happy 72nd anniversary to Romy and Joanne Phillips.
All right, and we have one more anniversary out there for you. Larry and Cheryl Arthur in Jasper celebrating their 25th. Now, I like these celebrations, and I always love seeing these anniversaries and how long marriages last. You know, if you do it right, love can last forever. And if you would like to celebrate all those exciting joys with us, what do they need to do, Elise?
Go ahead and submit them to birthdays@komnewsnow.com. Be sure to meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen, and to please include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
All right, very important information as always, and some very important information for you. It looks nice outside. That's actually really important, but it's also a bit chilly. Some of our communities, we had Nevada earlier this morning at 50 degrees, so a bit cold, really, for this time of year, but don't worry, it's going to heat up, and it'll do so pretty quickly. Clear skies, though, downtown Pittsburgh, our camera there. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. Remember, we do not control the MoDOT cameras, but they've got it pointed east. Obviously, it's clear. Obviously, it's sunny. And if that's not the sun, then we've got something serious happening there. But we've got clear skies looking pretty good this morning. Like I said, a bit chilly for some of us, though. We'll continue to warm. We'll warm rather quickly through the morning. And our future track, at least for today, other than some hot temperatures, there's really not much to show. Now, the further west you go, again, the hotter you'll be. Bartlesville kind of on the edge of that, making it possibly even into the low 90s later today. But skies remain clear. Now, overnight tonight, not much is going to happen, but we'll see clouds slowly increase, start going partly cloudy to start our Wednesday, which will leave us a little milder out there. I will have a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day on Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. On Wednesday, and then between roughly 5 and 10 o'clock on Wednesday, mainly on the Missouri side, could get future track hinting at an isolated shower storm that could develop and track from, weirdly, from the southeast to the northwest, so a little out of the ordinary here. Nothing severe, nothing crazy expected with it. Whatever we do see will be isolated, and as we lose the daytime heating, we'll begin to fizzle out. And we'll go mostly cloudy, rolling into the late night hours on Wednesday into our Thursday, and then Thursday sets the stage for some additional scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, at this point, we're not looking at anything severe, but we are looking at possible concerns for some additional flooding across the area. So something we want to monitor very closely in terms of the flooding. And again, at this point, we don't have any areas highlighted for severe weather, so that's just a good sign. It doesn't mean that there couldn't be a risk added later, but it's not. There's nothing out there that's really hinting that we're going to be getting some kind of significant severe weather event. So that's some good news. All right, mid-60s by 8 o'clock this morning, near 80 by 11. Got those clear skies out there, so it's certainly going to look nice outside, but it is going to not feel so pleasant. And again, as we're starting to heat up, something just to keep in mind. I know some folks, their heat sensitivity is a little different. Your heat tolerance is different. We start getting mid-upper 80s, close to 90. That can start to have an effect on some older folks, some of the kids, and also on pets. So just make sure you're prepared, because I know we've had a fairly cool May. Most of our days in May were below normal. June hasn't really been all that bad yet, but we're starting to settle into hot temperatures or warmer temperatures for sure. So just make sure you're paying attention to yourself, and your loved ones and your pets, because again, some folks, upper 80s, near 90, that can be a little bit too much at times, and you just don't realize it. It doesn't seem like it, but it can be. All right, great day otherwise, so just toasty. Clear skies continue through the evening, partly cloudy overnight, going back into the mid-60s. Oh my goodness. What is that? There's a large creature flying around out here. It was very large. I don't know what that was. Oh God. Okay. Well, anyway, it's going to be partly cloudy out there. Let me talk about these rain chances. That thing better get out of here. I don't do bugs, all right? You folks at home probably going, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this guy? I don't like bugs. I don't like flying creatures, okay? And I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to find out either, We're going to have shower thunderstorm chances increasing from Thursday into Saturday. They'll still be scattered. So remember, the future track is kind of painting that picture of where these scattered showers and storms will be. So not necessarily rain all over the place, but still rain. And some of the storms we see, while they're not, again, we're not anticipating any severe weather out of this activity, we could get some flooding concerns. We could get some storms with some locally heavy rainfall. It could also lead to maybe some local flash flooding as well. So something to keep in mind as we roll through the next few days heading into this weekend. We're having another look at your forecast and, of course, the news you need to know here in just a moment. And we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m. Or if you continue streaming with us right here on KOAM+, we're going to gain a deeper understanding of how sport memorabilia is authenticated.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Carl Junction first responders respond to a call from a stranded fisherman on Center Creek. First responders found the disabled boat near the bank and some trees with the fisherman hanging onto a few branches. Carl Junction Fire launched their boat and pulled the fisherman and his boat upstream to the ramp. The motor on the boat had stalled, leaving the fisherman stranded on the water. Pittsburgh police are investigating 2 incidents of shots fired on consecutive nights in the same neighborhood. Both cases happened in Pittsburgh's West Hudson neighborhood on Friday and Saturday nights. Officers found bullet holes in vehicles and apartments near 202 and 219 West Hudson, but no one was hurt. The Pittsburgh Police Department continues working to identify any suspects. And utility work on the intersection of 20th Street and Country Club Drive in Joplin is running behind schedule due to recent rain and storms. The area remains closed to through traffic while crews install a new water main ahead of a major road widening project. Local access can get through with soft closures in place on surrounding streets. Let's check up today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door, a chilly start, but heating up pretty quickly into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. Sunny skies and a west breeze around 5 to 10. Clear through the evening and then partly cloudy skies overnight, falling back into the mid 60s. Winds beginning to turn out of the southeast tonight at 5 to 10. Out of the south tomorrow, temperatures still hot. Could get an isolated storm or two east of I-49, mainly on the Missouri side. No severe weather expected. And then more scattered storms Thursday through Saturday. Again, no severe weather expected, but some of the storms could produce heavy rain, leading to some localized flooding concerns. So something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. And coming up today at noon, we're making deviled egg macaroni salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Coming up, American billionaire Frank McCourt talks about why he says the internet is broken and how his plan to buy TikTok is the first step to fixing it.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Amanda Davis joins us in the studio to talk about the 8th annual Toes in the Grand Summer Festival.
And Charlene Patton in the studio with another incredibly healthy recipe. However, that is going to wrap it up for us for now. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.